coming out in me each and every day. Now, I remember one story, and I still wonder today how it happened, because there was a ductwork that took you from the 7th grade classroom and it transferred you into the library. Everybody knows what size ductwork is? I crawled in that ductwork from the 7th grade classroom to the library. Now, I still wonder, how did I fit in that ductwork? I still wonder about that. It really is kind of amazing to think that I still fit through there. But the next 4 months, I showed my angst through being that class clown, being that joker. 4 months went past, and we were starting the 2nd semester, coming back from January from the Christmas break. And Sister Teresa wanted to sit down with me. And she said, "Gary, sit down." So I sat down, and she says, "Gary, I want to know, why is all this anger shown in you that you're showing in the classroom each and every day?" I told her, "Sister Teresa, you don't understand. I heard what those men said. They said the car was going to blow up if we didn't get out of the car. And I'm the only person in the accident that left that accident and didn't have a scratch on me." Sister Teresa said something of the nature of, "Gary, why do you think the door's open?" I told her, I believe in miracles now. I know they're created by our Creator. But it still made me feel that guilt. She asked me this question. She said, "Gary, what do you think the purpose of your life is?" Interesting. What is the purpose of my life? I will tell you, I've been spending a lifetime trying to find out what that is. And I'm trying to find out each and day, what is that purpose? But let's move from purpose to what that mindset is and share a couple things with you and play a little game. And I need you to play along with me here, because I like talking about mindset, because it's kind of what's set and fixed in us. So let's play a little game, and you all see if you can figure it out too as we go along. Now, the goal of the game is you're supposed to think what I'm thinking. Some of you, that scares you, right? Sorry. My wife, I guarantee you, it scares her. And stuff on that side. But think what I'm trying to think, okay? So here's the first word. Guns. Everybody got it? Got what I'm thinking? Was everybody thinking like I was? My guns! See them, boys? I just worked out this morning. Were you all thinking the same thing I was? No? Well, you don't pump iron like I do. Where's Nick? I pumped iron already this morning. See, I'm ready to go. Okay, let's try this again. Remember, the object is to think what I'm thinking. I know that's scary, but try to stay with me here. The object is think what I'm thinking. The second word is, we don't have too many small children here, do we? Sex. Oh my gosh, y'all, wait a minute. Smiles went all across the faces, man. Everybody started smiling now. Now, I was just thinking male and female, you know, genders. Come on, stay with me here. Don't go there, okay? Now, let's try one more. Let's try one more and see if you can stay with me. The last word is politics. No way. I'm not going there. You know what? For speakers, that's a death trap. So there's no way I'm talking about politics on this stage, okay? I want you to listen to my message, not be mad at me about it, no matter how you feel, okay? So see, our mindset is a mental attitude, a mental inclination. It's a fixed state. It's what we believe and we see at that time. It becomes fixed over time. And it's hard to change because our mindset gets set in certain areas. And we think only a certain way about certain things because of the way our mindset is. So as we go through that, we have to decide if we have that fixed state of a mindset, how can we change it? So I want you to think about two types of mindsets that I talk about in my book. The first one is what I call the climber mindset, and the second one is the stuck mindset. So let's talk about the climber first, because this is a person that's willing to change. They're searching to learn, grow, and become who they want to be. They realize their ascension in life is not where it's at, and they're always trying to find out, what is that next level that I want to get to? How can I create that climber mindset? How can I make those changes that I want to make my life become better? That's the climber, the person that's looking. They set goals. They go after what they want, and they're trying to reach it each and every day. Now you have another style of mindset. That's a stuck mindset. That person is never wanting to fail. They never want anything to change. They always want it to stay the same. Really, the past is just like the present because it's what it is today, and it's never going to be any better. They're always going to tell you why something else will work and the others won't. They become kind of stuck in what that mindset is. Now, the question I want you to think about for yourself, which one are you today? Are you the climber, or are you the person that's stuck? It doesn't matter because you can change it. And we're going to share some simple strategies for you to use that you can become the climber that you want to be in your life and in your mindset each and every day. So just give that some thought as we go forward. It's very dry up here. So let's talk about who in the room, just think about this question. Who in this room is a leader? Who in this room is a leader? I want you to think about it. Are you a leader? And after you think about that, everyone that thinks they're a leader, I want you to clap your hands. You're a leader. I thought I saw a bunch of leaders in the room. I knew you were because you came here tonight. So that was the first thing. You decided to make that challenge and that change to be able to come here. You are a leader. And I believe we are all leaders. Because first, we're leaders of self, right? We have to lead ourselves to what we want to do each and every day. And how we want to climb through life. And what goals we want to achieve. So when we're a leader, we set that up. But we also show our leadership by our daily actions, by what we do, and what we decide to move forward. So we have to decide, what is that for ourselves? What is the leader we want to be each and every day? Now, when we look at our leadership, remember it's first about ourselves, and then it's about what we show that leadership by our actions and by what we do each and every day. So I want you to think about this as you go forward, of how you are a leader in your life. When you look at that, that starts you to become who you want to be. So I want to share with you some frameworks that I have in my life. There's 4 frameworks that I call 4 practices that you can implement to be able to reach the high achiever's mindset into your life each and every day. So here's how it works. The first framework that I have for you on the high achiever side of it, the first framework, first practice you have to put in play is what I call energy. Okay? Energy has 2 components to it. One is exercise. What do you do each day to get yourself that energy? The second area is in productivity. But let's start in the exercise area first. What are the things that we need to do each and every day to get ourselves energized to make it through each day? So let's do a little game. Everybody stand up if you would. Stand up. We're going to play a simple Simon Says game. And you have to get a little energy. You've been sitting for a while. You heard some great music by Jason and stuff. Now you've been sitting listening to me, so let's get a little energy. A quick, simple Simon Says game. Everybody remember how to play Simon Says? Whatever Simon says, you have to follow. If Simon Says doesn't say it, then don't do it, okay? Simon Says. Simon says, don't hurt the person by you, but try to rotate your arms forward, okay? Either small circles or large circles, okay? Simon says, rotate your arms backwards. Okay, Simon says, clap your hands. Okay, Simon says, march in place. If you can move your feet there, okay? Simon says, clap your hands, march in place, and say it's a great day. Okay, you can sit down. Got some of you. Simon said, didn't say sit down. Simon says you can sit down now. Okay, it was about half and half, so we know where this room falls now. We know where we're kind of at. Now I will tell you on November of 2003, I kind of had that change in my own mindset. I walked up to my business coach that I had for several years and I told him, I said in 2002, I said, why can't I get myself to lose this weight? At the time, I was the heaviest I'd ever been, over 275 pounds. And I knew I needed to make a change. I kind of had that stuck mindset, right? But I couldn't make that change. And I asked my coach, why can't I get myself to make this change? And my coach looked at me straight in the eye and he said, Gary, when are you going to stop talking about this and actually do something about it? It's like, okay, coach, gotcha. So you know what he does? He picks up the phone and he calls the fitness center and schedules me a trainer right there on the spot. And when he hangs up, he says, your appointment is next Tuesday at 6 a.m. Write it in your calendar. I scheduled it in my calendar, and he said, now, you have to make your appointments on your calendar, and you have to schedule your exercise session just like you do the appointments that you go to any other appointment. Do you understand? I said, yes. He said, okay. Now, what you're going to do is, the second thing that you have to do is you've got to be accountable for your actions each and every day. I said, okay, I think I am like that. He said, no, you're not. You don't do it in your exercise. So now I become your accountability partner, and you will become accountable to me. Okay, coach, gotcha. So I set up that training session, and he told me every time I got done with an exercise session or I scheduled one, I had to let him know. Now remember, this was before the days of text messaging. So you actually had to call. Yes, we had wireless phones then, but you still had to call to be able to give that appointment. So after I would get done with an exercise session, either he would follow up with me or I would follow up with him until it became my new mindset. He wanted to be in place there, and he wanted me to make sure I knew that was the key. So as I set that up, I knew that was some of the changes that I needed to make. But as I started that accountability, what also happened, I realized there was other things I had to change in my life. Some of it was eating habits, and I had to change my daily eating habits. Does anyone here know what they call a fast food junkie? A fast food junkie is when you go to McDonald's for breakfast, and at lunchtime you throw away that trash because you're getting Taco Bell. That's called the fast food junkie. I was one of those because I was rushing in the business from one place to the other, and I thought that was what I needed to do. Instead, I had to change my eating habits. I started eating more greens, vegetables, and more fruit, and I realized I had to make those changes in my life each and every day. I started setting some goals for myself. And as I set some of those goals, I started seeing some things happen where my weight started coming off. I started doing some of my own exercise, and I made some of those changes. And with my accountability partner staying in contact with me, we kept back and forth, and he kept me accountable to what I said I was going to do. But those habits, those changes happened because they became habits. Now the key is, when we start creating habits for ourselves, we have to make those changes in our life each and every day. And when we start to make those changes, they start to happen for us. So what we do is we go from exercise and we make that change, and then it's about productivity. Does anyone notice we're pretty distractible today in the world? Social media, email, all the distractions that come through us each and every day becomes a real challenge in our life. And really, it's hard to be productive to get the things that you really want to do. But we have to decide what are those changes that we want to make. I call it a system that I call the pro. Because I think you have to become a pro. Anybody know the receiver or seen the receiver play, Jerry Rice of the San Francisco 49ers? To me, he was the ultimate pro. I read an article about Jerry Rice recently, and it talked about Jerry Rice, how when he started out in the league, he did the workout regimen that most people could never stay up to. And even in the latter stages of his life, he was still doing that same workout regimen. When rookies would come into the league, they would want to work out with Jerry Rice because they wanted to find out what was that secret to become a pro like Jerry Rice of the San Francisco 49ers. Jerry would always invite him out and say,